Okay, obviously one of the biggest priorities in any kind of children's daycare facility, and something which, I mean, Ofsted are beginning to put some rules and regulations in as far as forest nurseries are concerned, which obviously as a daycare provider we would be mandated to comply with, and we'd want to do that. So there's a lot of things in this facility. The height above the ground, for example, isn't something that we could replicate in our own forest nursery, so we'd have to make sure that it was completely a safe environment for children. Which is what we want to do here. But you can see the way, you know, it's very close to the forested area. We've got a small clearing here, which is sort of facilitating where the building's located. But we're very close to the wooded areas, and we would really see that as an important criteria. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you around the facility. You can see the kind of the views that we've got here, but just the overall view, and then we're going to go inside just so you can see the way some of the features are inside, how they could add some part of the educational process for the children that come to the nursery. So if we can come this way, Caroline, you can see the way coming in here. This particular place is a coffee shop, but so you can see a lot of the buildings are, you know, I've talked about the way the building's constructed already. This is recycled cast iron, and these are the telegraph poles that I've talked about. Okay, you can see the wooded area quite close by. And just walk this way. So it's this kind of platform. I mean, you can imagine something that would possibly be, I don't know, 6 inches off the ground or a foot off the ground. One of the features of forest nurseries is getting children used to a kind of as I said, an environment where they've got to take some care, but within a safe environment. That's the important thing. They can't come to any harm, but it's understanding that when you have a walkway, you have to stick to it. You know, it becomes quite important. Okay. You can see these kind of facilities have come into other parts of children's leisure, older children's leisure facilities. You know, those of you that have been on Go Ape and that kind of thing are used to getting children to integrate again with the natural environment. And really, part of a forest nursery concept is to take that kind of philosophy, but take it into preschool children, which is what we want to try and do. It is very prevalent in Scandinavian countries, in Germany. As I said, there is in Scotland now a forest nursery which is located near Edinburgh. So this way, I'm now going to go inside so you can get a flavour for some of the features that the nursery school could integrate within its internal facilities. Inside here, we're going to see this is a working coffee shop. So it's got a kitchen, it's got a cooker, and so some of these features we could actually integrate into our own forest nursery. You just want to come this way, Caroline. That's great. Okay, so here we are inside. We've got a mezzanine floor, which could be out of bounds for children. We could make that just an adult only, but it'd be quite a useful kind of storage area. We've got some tables around the side here. One useful facility that we'd be keen to build into a forest nursery, as you can see up here, Caroline, if you just swing the camera up there, is, you know, you could explain to children how a water system works, for example, because you can show all of the electric wiring, you can illustrate where things come from, which is quite an important feature, we would argue, of a forest nursery. You could show children, you know, how a cooker, how the water system comes in, how the power system comes in, how the heating system works, and that would be quite an important part of a forest nursery building. This is used all throughout the year. It's warm, it's cosy, it's got its own heating system, it's got its own water supply, so its own facilities are here. The location that we've got in Horsforth, which is a fully functional nursery school, been there for 5 or 6 years now. We would look to integrate, you know, all of the features, the internal features or functional features of that nursery within this kind of facility. There's no reason why it shouldn't be any different. You know, this facility was used over the winter of 2010-11. You know, when it was kind of -17 outside, it was really cosy and warm inside here. So there's no reason why we can't achieve that. Here's the kitchen. You can see there's quite this kind of facility. It's a fully working kitchen. There's a counter, and therefore we could certainly envisage in our forest nursery the cooking and heating facilities being out of bounds to, you know, small children. You can imagine a much lower counter here would be something which would would work quite well, we think, in our forest nursery facility. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go outside and just have a look at some of the other facilities that the nursery school has got. Okay, thanks, Caroline.